Welcome to the Get Your Right On podcast, a podcast for aspiring authors who are ready to publish their books.
Oh yeah.
Each week, we interview authors, learning about their publishing journey, and giving you tips to get your books published the right way. Now, here's your host, Shante Williams.
All right, welcome to another episode of the Get Your Right On podcast. I'm your host, Shante Williams, also owner of Relentless Publishing House, where we help aspiring authors of all ages who write nonfiction to self-publish their book. So I absolutely love this podcast because it gives me the privilege to meet authors from coast to coast who write in a number of different genres, and just learning about them, learning about their author journey, hearing the life lessons that they have learned on becoming a published author. And so it is just absolutely amazing. I just love it. So today, you guys, we have with us Aunt Monica Upson. She is a multifaceted, creative wife and mother of 3 young children. When she's not in full-on mommy mode, she is writing children's books, filming her YouTube show, Princess Candy Cotton, or probably obsessing over the latest musical release in hopes of being cast in one. So you guys, help me welcome Monica Upson to the Get Your Right On podcast.
Hello, and thank you so much for having me here. I'm so excited.
Thank you so much for joining. I absolutely love it. So we're going to dive right in. So the number one question that I like to ask all of my interviewees is, why did you write the book?
Yes, so I started writing children's books in general when the pandemic first started and when everything was shut down. I was like, I have so many ideas for stories. I'd never really thought about being a writer, but I was like, I don't want to waste my time. We're all stuck in the house together. I need some me time pulling to the side. And this was a way for me to express my creativity. So that's why I decided to go ahead and pick one of my stories and just go for it.
I love it. I think the pandemic kind of motivated a lot of sleeping writers to
I think so.
Listen, we had nothing but time.
Right. It changed a lot.
Go nowhere. We was working from home. Kids were home from school.
Yes.
Like, let me go ahead and make the use of this time. I guess now it's time to get this book done.
Yes.
So I love it that you took opportunity during that time to do something that's continuously making you money. So I love it. So tell us, what is your book about?
Yes. So my book is called Give Mommy Dragon Some Space. And it's about mommy dragon moms during their time of the month. And in the book, we call it her Fire Breathing Dragon Week because, you know, we can all get a little bit moody sometimes as a result of the different symptoms. But in the story, she goes through the different symptoms in front of her kids. And from her kids' point of view, they're like, okay, mom is like cahoots right now. We got to figure out a way to help her. And along the way, they figure out ways they can help her cope with symptoms. And at the end, it kind of ties all together and they realize, you know, it was nice being considerate and thoughtful of mommy. And in return, she didn't need as much space as she thought. You know, she became more appreciative of them being around.
Oh, I love it. I don't think I've ever read or heard of anybody writing on that particular topic in a children's book in a creative way.
Yeah, it was unique. I was like, I have to go for this. I typed in the search. I was like, are there any books on mommy during her time of the month? And there were like none. I was like, I got to go for it.
So now, how did you come up with that particular topic?
Yeah, so I was, you know, it was my time of the month. My kids were like nagging me while I was trying to focus. And then my husband came in and he brought in my favorite Frappuccino. And I had cravings like all morning. So I was a little extra moody. But when he brought that Frappuccino to me, it reset my mind and it got rid of that craving. And so I was a nicer mommy dragon for the rest of the day. I was like, this is a story within itself.
That is hilarious. Like, why do we crave chocolate? Because I know it's not everybody, but
yeah,
I do the same thing. I have this. So my chocolate, it has to be Snickers. Like, I don't want anything else.
Yeah,
it has to be a Snickers bar. And then once I eat the Snickers, I'm okay. Like, I'm not really moody, but it's just like that craving. Like, I have to have that chocolate, that caramel, that peanut. And then it's like, okay, yeah, I'm good now.
Right. What is that? Why does that happen to us? It's so funny.
I don't know. It's weird. It's like you get the weirdest cravings during that time.
Yeah.
It's almost like your body is like, well, we're not pregnant, so we're going to crave something.
Right. We're going to do something here.
Like you didn't do your job to make sure something was going on, so we're going to crave something.
Right. We're not waiting for the hormones.
Yes, exactly. I love it. And it is. And so it's always interesting how each woman goes through that period, and just some women are never effective, and normally not. Normally, it's very mild or non-existent. But I always know whenever I get that sweet tooth craving, it's like, okay, it's coming.
Right.
Get my mind together. Oh. And then I'll be thinking, okay, Lord, I know I'm not supposed to complain because I realize that there's some who wish they could. I said, however, if there's any way out of this, like, can we go back and all talk to Eve? Right.
Let's switch things up a bit. Definitely.
So I love it. I love that you took something that is serious for some, but you did it in a way that included the whole family, and you got the kids' perspective, and how they were able to help. And so I love that. Yeah. That's just so creative. Like, I love it.
Thank you.
So what is one of your favorite feedbacks you've gotten about this book? Because I can imagine that you've gotten some weird stuff like, what in the world?
Well, I'm like waiting on the weird stuff. A lot of people that have supported me have been like friends of friends, and just like, through social media, they follow me or I follow them. We didn't know each other before, and it's been really good feedback. But I'm loving like seeing teachers reading the books to their students. Like, I had planned for this to maybe be for kids aged 5 to 8 to be interested in this book, but it turns out like preschool, like kids are still in diapers. They're enjoying this. They're enjoying like the colors in the book. They're enjoying the story. They're repeating parts of the story. Like, that's so special to me.
I love it. So do you have your book with you that you can show us?
I do.
Oh, you guys, look. Give Mommy Dragons some space.
I
love it.
Thank you. Yes.
I love it.
I wanted to make it really colorful.
Yes, I can imagine they're looking, because it's not typical people and it's animals, that grabs their attention. Like, oh my gosh, what is that? Look at that tail. What are those spikes? And, just the natural inquisitive of kids when they see something different.
Yeah.
So I absolutely love that. So tell me, what was your goal when you did this book? Other than it was the pandemic, I had time.
Yeah.
Like, what's your ultimate goal for this?
Well, my ultimate goal, specifically for my household, I wanted my children to grow up and have consideration for other people, to be thoughtful of other people where they are. And I feel like this is a big lesson that this book teaches. But even more so, like, this whole generation coming up, they're going to be our future leaders. And a lot of the turmoil that's happening in the world right now could be avoided if people thought more about each other and were considerate of each other's situations, and considerate of each other, being different races, different religions. Like, it could bring a lot of healing. And that's my ultimate goal, is to provide a better future for my kids and other kids.
I think that's great, because I think sometimes we could give a whole lot more compassion.
Yes.
We do give, instead of just being judgmental, right? It's easy for us to judge, the moody woman. But what if we say, what can we do to help ease her?
Right.
We make jokes about it, but, it is a serious issue that some women, deal with. And it is very grappling. Like, it just... it's painful and it's irritating. And so I absolutely love that, for us to consider other people and saying, wow, if I was them, what would I want?
Right. It could really change a lot in the work industry. I know a lot of women that they can't even go to work during that time of the month. They have to take time off because some people are in a lot of pain, and we need, CEOs, all these other bosses and men that aren't aware of it. We need other people to be really considerate of those people. They can still do great work, and there's other ways for them to complete work. Now that we're all used to this virtual world and working from home,
that it works.
It's possible,
Yes.
But we can include more people, more women, people with all these different types of things going on. And being considerate is just such a gift to teach kids.
It is, and I love it. And I know there's always been jokes about, that time of the month for women,
Yeah.
From both genders.
Right.
But I think, I agree with you said, especially, this is definitely, we're not male bashing, but it's hard to understand something when you don't have to go through it.
Right.
And so this is one of those things that men really don't understand, how the changes in the hormones in our body affect us.
Right.
Where somebody may not be affected, somebody else totally has meltdowns.
Yeah.
And it's not to be judged. It's not to call them weak or anything like that, but it's not to be insensitive, but it really is to show compassion. And even though you may not understand, it's to show that kindness, like you say.
Right. Yeah.
And I think
we're all so different.
Yes, exactly. Not judging one situation to the next, because we're all made different. Our insides work differently. Just because we're the same gender doesn't mean that our bodies deal with these changes the same way. I've known women who've gone through menopause just with the breeze, and others, Lord have mercy, you would thought they was dying every second of the day.
Yeah.
And it just goes to show how different we respond to what's going on in the inside of our body. So I love it that it makes you stop and think, to say, wow, if they're having a bad day, if they're going through something that's difficult or painful, what can I do to help make it better?
Right.
And if there's nothing that I cannot do, I can still be kind.
Right. Exactly.
It costs nothing. A smile costs nothing. Right.
Yes.
And so I love it that it teaches, the whole family just to be kind. And it's not necessarily, let's just be kind to mommy. The bigger thing is we all are different, and to be kind to people who are different than you, instead of being judgmental. So I love it. I love it.
Thank you.
I love it. So tell people, how can they purchase the book and how can they follow you on social media?
Yes. So you can purchase the book on Amazon. You can type in "Give Mommy Dragon Some Space" right into the Amazon search bar. And you can also find it on my website, monicaupson.com. I have a whole book/channel page on there, and I have links that take you right to the book. And you can also find my social media there. I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook, and I'm on YouTube under Princess Candy Cotton.
Ooh, you guys, make sure that you subscribe to that YouTube channel. Make sure you hit that bell so you can get notifications on when she's on. So one of the things I like that you said also is that before you started writing, you did research.
Yes.
And I think so many times as authors, we skip that part. We think, oh, well, my book will be good enough because I'm an excellent writer. It's not a question as to whether or not your writing is enough. It is what's already out there, and how's my good book going to be different than what's already in the industry. And so I love that fact that you said you researched first and then you went forward. So what would you tell other aspiring authors who may have a topic that may be sensitive or controversial like yours, but, to still encourage them to go forth and just, write it? Right.
I would say, try to get fear out of your mind, because I was fearful when I first had the idea. I was like, are people going to be offended? Are they going to pick up the book? Are, different types of family dynamics going to want to pick up this book? But you kind of have to shut that voice up and tell it to stop. And first, just go for it. Write your story. Do the research on the topic you think you want to write about. See what's out there. If there's a lot on your topic and you feel passionately about your story, find a way to make yours different and unique. Everybody has a different perspective to write from. You can never have too many perspectives. Like, I'm always looking for movies or television that is from someone like me, like my background. I'm like, oh, wouldn't it be great if I saw someone like me doing this? It would encourage me to try and, pursue that career or that type of, trade. I think, just research and make it yours, because that's a great way to start anything, right?
It is. It
start
really
from your
is.
perspective. Yeah.
Exactly. So what did your boys think?
So Patrick loves it. He is like, he goes around like, do you need some space? or they like to repeat the mommy page because it's so real. Every parent or, mom or dad, they hear mommy, 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 or daddy, daddy, daddy. So it's quite relatable to everybody out there.
I love it. Do you need your space?
Right.
Like, listen, go sit down somewhere.
Right. Clearly I wrote it for a reason. We all need some space sometimes.
Yes. I love it. And then I love that you also include your family. So you guys, that's a perfect way to get started is, start right in your own home.
Right.
See what life lessons that you've gone through with your family and how that can help other families get through similar things as well. And so never underestimate what you have to offer, right?
Yes.
Because it's all in the power of your story, the quality of your content, and whether or not you can sell it.
Right. We all have a story that's somewhat different.
Absolutely. So I absolutely love it. I love it. So Monica, thank you so much for hanging out with us. I'm getting tongue-tied. I've been tongue-tied all day.
It happens.
I need space. Let me try this again, right? Monica, thank you for hanging out with us on the Get Your Right On podcast and sharing your book. I absolutely love the concept. I love the creativity in it. I love the overall message of the book. I think it's absolutely amazing. So I thank you for sharing that with us on today.
Thank you so much for allowing me to share it with you.
You are so welcome. All right, you guys, we're going to close out with a couple of announcements. For those aspiring authors who are looking to get your book done, we are hosting the Get Your Right On 30-day book camp in April 2022. So if you are listening to this broadcast, and it is after April 2022, you need to go to the website, relentlesspublishing.com, to see when the next boot camp book camp will be offered. So in this 30-day boot camp, there are 30 days of group coaching. We have weekly Zoom sessions where we also have dedicated writing sessions. You get a digital copy of the Get Your Right On Publishing Planner Workbook. You have weekly assignments and you get a customized publishing timeline. Now listen, y'all. This 30-day book camp is not for you to write your book in 30 days. Okay. So if you're looking for a quick way to write your book, this camp is not for you. This camp is for aspiring authors who want to do it the right way. So I'm going to help you get your framework together, help you to get clarity on the book you need to write now, and help you get it outlined and help you get started so that you can get your book done and published by the end of the year. The only way you can get a book done in this camp for 30 days if you're doing a journal. And with you're doing a journal, you're just doing different, you may do a 30-day journal where you have different prompts. You may do a 21-day journal where you have different prompts, and it doesn't take a whole lot of writing. So you basically have 30 questions that you're going to ask, and they're going to reflect on it and then write their thoughts on it. Okay. This book camp is to get you set up and to help you write effectively the right way so that you can make sure that it's published in excellence. Okay. So if that is you, if you're an aspiring author, you've been saying, you know what, I'm stuck. I started and then I stopped. I don't know where to go next. This book camp is designed to help you get over those hurdles. So the investment for the book camp is $197. Afterpay is available. Now we have 2 bonuses that are available, and you choose one as an incentive to get you going and to make sure you get your book done this year. So the first bonus is you can choose either $200 off the full service publishing package or the children's publishing package. The second bonus offer is you get $50 off the journal publishing package. So you in essence get to spend your money twice. Right. So it's a win-win. So you invest the $197 and then you get it back in the full service publishing package that we have. Okay. So this is an incentive to say, hey, let's get this book done and let's not procrastinate any longer. Now, here's the catch, y'all. The bonuses expire September 1. Well, if it's a bonus, why does it expire? Because I need you to be motivated. I need you to be disciplined. I need you to say, you know what? I'm going to hunker down and I'm going to get it done. So bonuses don't last forever. All right. Bonuses expire September 1, 2022. All right. So that's to make sure you get it done this year. Now, for those of you that have children who are creative, that love to write, The Perry's Junior Book Club is coming back for a second summer session for the Creative Writing Virtual Summer Camp. This is a 5-week e-course that's going to introduce them to what becoming a published author is. They're going to write a short children's book, and it will be printed. Now, this book is not published. It will not be available in any online retailers, but it can be printed, and you can sell it on your own website, parents, or you can create a landing page for them so that they can sell it. All right. So it does give them to have a finished, complete work where they can sell to the public. And I'm going to gift them the first 10 free copies. So this introduces them to what it is to being an author, and it also reiterates the importance of literacy. Okay. So we want to make sure we give our children options. We just never know how this one little camp can turn them into this amazing author, and then they're just living off their books. Don't underestimate the creativity of your children. So we did a virtual book fair for our students that completed the course February the 19th in honor of Black History. And so you can go to our YouTube channel and see that virtual book fair. These children were absolutely amazing. All of their books are uniquely different and so creative, you guys. I just can't tell you how proud I was to see their finished work and to be able to help them. And none of them, all but one, no, one of them had already published a book. She was in our first children's camp. So this was her second year, but the other ones had never written a book, and they didn't even know if they can do it. But when they did it, they was like, oh my gosh, I actually wrote a book. Like, they were so excited, like they want to do it again. And so you just never know what's ignited in our kids. So don't shoot it down, right? Sometimes you kind of have to walk them through the process. So this is another alternative for our kids to do something this summer. So it is virtual. It is an e-course, so it's not in person. So they will be able to log in and watch the recorded videos. And I'll also do a couple of live sessions with them to help guide them through the process to make sure they have clarity on their illustrations and all of that good stuff. So the investment for the camp is $497. It is for children ages 5 through 18, school age kids 5 through 18. All right, so we are excited about that. So you guys listen. So as we are wrapping up, as we say at Relentless, it is never too late to get your right on. Thank you for hanging out with us for another episode of the Get Your Right On podcast. And we thank you to author Monica Upson for sharing us with her amazing children's book. You guys, so listen, go out there and get your right on, but make sure you get it on the right way. Until next time, you guys have an amazing day.
Bye.
Thanks for joining us this week on the Get Your Right On podcast. Make sure to visit our website at www.relentlesspublishing.com. You can subscribe to our monthly mailing list, check out our publishing packages, and pick up our Aspiring Author Kit, which helps you get the book out of your head and into your hand. Don't forget to tell an aspiring author about our show and kindly leave us a review. Until next time, remember, it's never too late to get your right on.